Health Minister Dr. Mkhize says from this month, the following 4 provinces will experience much higher increases of COVID-19 infections: Gauteng, the Western Cape and Eastern Cape. And
fully focused on the day ahead, mentally preparing to enter the eye of the storm. Today, Dr. Antoinette Kuhn will most probably come into contact with people who are COVID positive. But she isn't worried about herself. She isn't worried about her husband and children either. That's because they don't have underlying conditions. This, however, doesn't mean Antoinette's personal life hasn't been disrupted.
I've got elderly parents who I'm now not able to see because they are high risk. Yes, I'm concerned for their health. So family life, your entire life is just disrupted by this virus. And ultimately, that's not nice.
Arriving at work, Antoinette suddenly remembers there are even more problems she faces.
We are having to deal with short staff because we currently do have staff members who are off sick due to this virus. So in between focusing on this very important vaccine work, you also need to think about your staff who's at home, who might not be physically so ill, but the emotional effect on them are even higher. Because most of us who are working here, we have families, we have small children at home, we have husbands who we expose to this every day. So it's difficult.
But knowing an entire nation relies on her and her colleagues to deliver a safe and effective vaccine, she cannot afford to fall apart. As she clocks in for her shift this morning, a heavy workload already awaits her. She is the site's principal investigator who sees approximately 30 volunteers a day. Before they get vaccinated, she ensures they are thoroughly screened.
Your first visit to our clinic would be a very long visit. It's a screening visit because we need to ensure you understand the study. We need to sign and inform consent with you. So part of that is a discussion that can take, if you comprehend very fast, half an hour, but some people require more than an hour just to explain the basics and the principles about the study, which is also important because they need to adhere to their follow-up schedules. We don't want to enroll people who decide after a month that they're tired and they drop out of the study.
And those volunteers are members of the public who decided out of their own will to use their bodies to test the drug. No payment involved. The vaccine is being prepared in a separate room while Antoinette continues to consult with participants not too far from here. So what exactly is this thing that is being injected into people's bodies? Scientists use something known as the adenovirus, which normally produces common cold symptoms like a runny nose or sneezing. But it's used in a way that doesn't cause disease in the human body.
And the next step that they did was they took the coronavirus and they took the genetic sequencing of this coronavirus on the spike protein. So the spike protein of the coronavirus is the outside bit which causes disease. It enables the virus to attach itself to your body, which then causes the disease. So they took this genetic material and they placed it inside this inactive adenovirus. And now you have this new, I want to call it an organism almost, which is now made into a vaccine. So it's containing the genetic material from the coronavirus, but it's actually an adenovirus that cannot make you sick.
Once the drug is defrosted, Antoinette sends volunteers to her colleagues who will vaccinate them. At this stage, the participants would have gone through a rigorous process that includes COVID-19 and HIV tests. At the end of the process, Antoinette and her colleagues have to be satisfied that the drug is completely safe for public use.
Once you have a vaccine that works, the demand is going to be so huge, it's going to be too much for one company to supply the whole world with vaccines by the end of next year. So it's actually a good thing that there's different candidates that's in the running and competing and pushing each other so that maybe there's even more than one vaccine available next year.
Only at the end of this year will Antoinette know if the long hours she put in were worth it. Should the vaccine prove effective against COVID-19, her hometown of Somerset East in the Eastern Cape will be beaming with pride. That's where her journey started in the 1980s.
I grew up there, and then I studied in Bloemfontein, my medical degree. Finished my studies in 1999, and I graduated in 2004. And then I moved to Joburg in 2006, and I've been doing research here at this unit now for the last 12 years.
For now, though, the hard work continues. The nation crosses its fingers. For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, this is Mpho Lakaje at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital in Soweto.